The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, King County Fire, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 36543. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation. Starting just under the front bumper, you'll find perimeter lighting. As we move to the passenger side, you'll find your unit identifier L328. Just inside of that location, you'll find dual air horns on the passenger and driver side. Protruding through the front bumper, you'll find 2 tow hooks. As we move toward the center, you'll find recessed electronic siren PA speakers. And as we move over to the driver's side face of the front bumper, that's where you'll find the mechanical siren. Let's move up onto the top of the bumper extension. Tubbed hose storage location with a cover D-handle gains you access into this space. As we move to the outer edge, you'll find a discharge swivel. Moving up onto the cab on the outer edge, you'll find a turn indicator marker light. Just inside that location, headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights, high beams located on the inside. Above that, emergency warning light structure. And just above that, grab handles for gaining access to the windshield area. As we move up onto the windshield, you'll find 3 windshield wipers across the seamless one-piece windshield. And as we move to the outer edges on the left and also on the right side, you'll find your mirrors, which house a flat and convex mirror. As we move up to the top, you'll find a downward angled mirror, convex. And then as we move to the brow of the apparatus, you'll find your ID clearance lights, and then just above that, a forward-facing floodlight. Moving up onto the roof itself, you'll find emergency warning lights. Toward the driver's area, on the roof area, is where you'll find your Opticom. And then above the emergency warning lights is where you'll find your GO lights. These are the spotlights controlled from within inside the cab area. Let's look at some close-ups here. On the side of the bumper extension, side-facing emergency warning light. As we move inside to the hose storage location, dry deck material inside. Let's take a look at the swivel discharge. This is your front bumper line. The next set of images are going to be a walk around of the entire truck, just to get a perspective of where we're going to be starting. As we move to the cab section, move to the pump area, then to the body of the driver's side. Then we'll move around to the rear of the apparatus. Full view of the entire truck on the passenger side. Cab area, and then body area. Let's go ahead and move now into the driver's space, first starting at the door panel area of the vehicle. Affixed to the door panel is all of our safety and warning placard information. Just above that location is your door lock and latch, and then also 4 window controls for all cab windows. Those are the electric windows. Above that, grab handle. Let's move down inside to the floorboard area. Let's start first at the base of the seat pedal, where you'll find your auto charge. When plugged into Shoreline Power, this will become active. You also have an engine heater and an air inlet. Let's go ahead and move to about the right ankle of the operator, where you'll find a yellow placard. This is the placard manufactured from Pierce, indicating the 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, date of manufacture, cold tire inflation, the VIN number of the vehicle, all of the fluid capacities for components, fluid capacity, and fluid capacity type. As we move to the left knee of the operator, master battery switch, quarter turns the silver switch. As we move to the right, you'll find the tech module and also engine, transmission, ABS diagnostic port. Moving down from that location, we have ABS switch, DPF regen switch, engine diagnostics, and regen inhibit. As we move just up from that location, you'll find the differential interaxle lock. And to the right, you'll find the stationary OK to pump and roll indicator, water pump, mirror heat, diff lock, and off-road traction. Let's go ahead and move now to the center column steering wheel area. Your vehicle is equipped with a supplemental restraint system, SRS airbag. Located in the center on the outer edges, you'll find additional controls for emergency lights, windshield wipers, and headlight control. Let's go ahead and move forward to this location to the dash area. We'll start on the left-hand side of the dash, first with the start ignition switch. Just to the right, an EM switch, which stands for Emergency Master. It will engage and disengage all emergency lights with one switch. To the right, headlight switch and panel switch allows you to brighten and dim lights within preview of the operator. And onto the opposite side of the column, we're going to find the high idle indicator and OK to engage high idle switch. As we move to the left, you'll find the transmission oil, def level, and water temp. On the right, you'll find volts, fuel, front air, and rear air. In the center, you're going to find the tachometer and speedometer. Above and below the tachometer and speedometer is where you'll find diagnostic information regarding your vehicle. Let's go ahead and move just slightly to the right of the steering column, where we'll take a quick general view of the dash area, but let's first start back at the top with your display screen. Tremendous amount of information right here at your fingertips. Please see your owner's manual for more information. Switching, we have an aerial master, aerial PTO, all-wheel lockup, stabilizer camera, engine brake on and off switch, and also a setting switch for low, medium, and high for that engine brake. As we move down, you'll find the yellow diamond, which is the pull to apply your system parking brake, and push to release. To the right, Allison transmission pad, push button, digital readout, informational note, pump in neutral. Also some caution and warning information regarding the brakes, and also disengage your retarder when on wet or slippery surfaces. Let's move just slightly downward and inward from that location, where you'll find the mirror control for the flat mirror and convex mirrors. As we move to the right, you'll find climate control, heat, defrost, and air conditioning. Moving further to the right, you're going to find your intercom system control module. And then also just slightly to the right is where you're going to find the Go Light control module. This is for the spotlight over the driver's head. As we move to the center, you'll find your unit radio and then also PA and electronic siren control module. There's also some map book containers. And then as we move toward the center dash area, I would like to point out these red and white labels. These are indicating spare wiring behind the panel. They're individually labeled. Let's go ahead and look overhead of the operator's head, where you'll find this yellow placard indicating the height of the vehicle, length of the vehicle, and gross vehicle weight rating. If you make any adjustments to your vehicle, please update this placard. Also, emergency warning light master, high beam flash, Opticom, your load manager, and then also siren brake for your mechanical siren. As we move further to the right, we have some additional switching here. First, let's start on the left with the front scene, driver's side scene, officer scene, rear scene, the perimeter lights, and then cornering lights, which are near the rear axle. As we move slightly to the right, a few more control modules. First, your traffic advisor control module. And then further to the right, we have a digital readout for your pump pressure and then also water tank level indicator. Just underneath, we're going to find an audible speaker. This is for your seatbelt alarm. It does have a bezel which rotates, and then also a do not move your apparatus. If this light is flashing, you have a compartment or door open. As we move behind the seat, you'll find the manual crank handle. As we move up from that, that's for tilting the cab. As we move up from that, the backup speaker with volume control on the face. And then also we have termination points here for 12-volt access, positive and negative. And then your main unit radio. And then on the vertical side wall, when plugged into Shoreline power, this outlet will become active. Let's now move exterior of the truck to the front axle, where you'll find Goodyear tires, Alcoa wheel, and then a visual sight indicator for the center axle
lubrication. As we move to the rear cab area, let's start in this area. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock, latch, and also electric window controls. As we move inside, just over the rear seat is where you'll find additional storage. Paddle latch gains you access LED light inside the storage location. This is going to be on the driver's side rear portion of the cab. Additional storage box located here. D-handle gains us access into this for map books and also additional resources. LED light inside this area. Just beneath this area, lift and turn latch gains us access into the oil and transmission daily check area. As we move to the seats on the outer edge, you'll find additional storage location with netting and also LED lighting and adjustable shelves. In the very rear portion of the compartment, you're going to find a 12-volt option here for a barrel style plug. Let's go ahead and move now down to the seat area where you'll find seat with SCBA and then also additional plugs down at the lower portion next to the seat. We're back to the exterior where you'll find your Shoreline inlet. This is a 20 amp auto eject plug. It's located on the rear section of the cab wall. As we move up from that location, you'll find an LED water tank level indicator. And then let's move to the cross lays, which is going to be part of the body section. But I do have a warning placard here indicating entanglement hazard. Because of the lines coming from aloft, there's the possibility of entanglement. That was a 2.5-inch discharge in the top, and then 2.5 inch discharges down in the lower section. Release mechanism for the speed lay located in the lower section. As we move to the pump panel area, we do have a warning placard regarding caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening caps. This is your number 1 discharge, locally controlled 2.5 ball valve. Also warning placard regarding fall hazard. When climbing onto the vehicle, always face it. We have air supply and air outlets and all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. Also to the right, you'll find the driver's side auxiliary inlet, locally controlled ball valve, female inlet. The step does fold out as a platform for gaining access to the upper portions of the crosslays. As we move now to the pump panel, let's start in the very top section, left side of the pump panel with this LED light. If your pump is properly engaged, this LED light will be illuminating. Also, minimum operation maintenance schedule for 150, 200, and 250 test pressures. A warning, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after they've received proper training. To the right, the blue module is your water tank level indicator. As we move to the gray module, you're going to find your master intake gauge. And then to the right, you'll find the master discharge gauge. In between the two of those is the test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure. They're currently plugged and are utilized for testing purposes. To the right, you'll find your PCM fault indicator and also an audible alarm. Once again, the outer edge of that speaker bezel does rotate to increase or decrease sound level. Let's move down on the pump panel. On the left-hand side of the pump panel, we're going to find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. To the right, you'll find a danger placard. The latter is non-insulated, so that's why we have an electrocution danger placard. Also, primer for your fire pump. It does have an auto prime, and it also has instructions just beneath that. Your in-control pressure throttle governor located in the lower section. As we move down to the next section down, you'll find your tank fill and recirculating line and also tank to pump. There are 2 electric valves on this side of the pump panel. These to control the passenger side valves on the left. On the right side, you'll find the aerial discharge. It's a wheel valve and also an indicator in the wheel itself. These are the 2 electric valves I previously mentioned that operate on the passenger side of the vehicle. We do have primer drain and also discharge drains. As we move into the pan door area, you'll find the manual pump shift override. On the vertical wall, you'll find compartment lights and also an air horn and additional scene lights. As we move to the very bottom section, you'll find a pull-out tray for aerial operation. As we move to the forward section of the body, you're going to find a camera located in the top section for the location of your outrigger. Also some danger placard. Once again, the aerial is non-insulated, and that's why we have a danger electrocution hazard. Also crush because of the movement of that aerial device, and also stabilizers. As we move to the very bottom section, we have your wheel chocks folding down the lower section. And as we move up to the top section of this compartment, you'll find when plugged into Shoreline Power, this outlet is active. Also, right next to it, we have a 12-volt bus. As we move forward to that location, you're going to find a pull-out toolboard tray release located on the lower section of the tray. As we move just in front of the rear axles, you'll find the fill location for the DEF location. It's the blue cap. There are also 4 SCBA bottle storage locations here. The center does lift to give you access into that lower section. D-handle gains you access to the rear side of the toolboard. When that toolboard is opened, you'll find there is a latch mechanism which will lock into position. Second toolboard in the rear portion, same thing, lock mechanism located in the rear portion. Tandem axle, Goodyear tires, and Alcoa wheels once again. As we move back up to the body section, you'll find that 8-gallon DEF tank. It is the blue cap. As we move to the SCBA bottle location, once again, 4 SCBA bottles in addition with retaining straps. As we move to the rear portion, you'll find the silver fill cap. This is your ultra low sulfur diesel. Right next to that, an additional SCBA bottle storage location. Let's go ahead and move down to the rear compartment. As we look at the very base of the rear compartment, you'll find an additional location for a winch, and then also your stabilizer pads are located on both passenger and driver side. As we move up into the compartment, adjustable shelving pull-out tray, and at the very top section, once again, this compartment when plugged into Shoreline Power also has this outlet become active, and then also you have that 12-volt block here also, or bus. Let's hit a couple safety warning placards here. This is the stabilizer. Because of that movement, there's also a warning placard here for crush injury. And then also when climbing on and off to the vehicle, you always want to face the vehicle or ladder while climbing onto it. General view here of the entire truck with all compartments open on the driver's side. Let's move around to the rear of the apparatus. Compartments are in the open position. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner. At the top, we have emergency warning lights and rear scene lights. Also, because of this hose chute, there is entanglement possibilities, so we have a warning placard. Rear floodlights, also stabilizer illumination. And then also at the very bottom section, we have a warning placard regarding caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. The Pierce logo American flag is your large diameter aerial inlet. As we move just to the right, you're going to find a chrome tow hook. There is an informational note here regarding warning direct pull only. As we move to the center compartment, this houses all of your ground ladders and additional long-handled tool. There is a pan door in the back. This is the aerial drain, 1.5-inch aerial drain. As we move up to the very top, this is your relief valve and adjustment screw. Do not cap this. As we move to the rear, you're going to find all of our safety and warning overrides located in this pan door for stabilizer and also for the aerial device. Let's move just to the right where you'll find the additional hose chute. We have some placards here regarding danger, electrocution hazard because of the equipment not being insulated. Also, fall, never ride on the vehicle while it's in motion, and entanglement because of the line coming from the chute area. There's the possibility of entanglement. Let's move down now to the control module. At the very top section, we do have a warning regarding aerial stability hazard. This would be for short jacking your vehicle in operations. Also, emergency stop is the mushroom located on the left, override, and then stabilizer power. As we move down, this is a remote. It is tethered, and this controls all of your stabilizers, both front and rear, left and right. General view of the apparatus on the passenger side, all compartments open. Let's take a look at a few more of the warning placards. Same thing as we have on the passenger side as we're going to have on the driver's side regarding crush injury and stability, including electrocution and entanglement hazard. As we move through the compartments, each of these compartments have Shoreline Power and also 12-volt access. We do have additional SCBA bottle storage. Goodyear tires, Alcoa wheels, tandem axle once again. As we move to the forward section, SCBA bottle storage for 2 SCBA bottles here, and then 1 forward and 1 rear aft. As we move to the forward compartment, I would like to point out a pull-out tray and toolboard combination with surrounding mounting devices all around in this compartment, additional shoreline outlet, and also 12-volt access. I would like to point out in this same vicinity, right in the front of the axle, is where your exhaust is located. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen operations. Please be cautious where you park your vehicle. This is the aerial stabilizer indicator, and as we move down from that, we have a danger placard regarding electrocution, and then also warning regarding crush hazard. As we continue to move forward, we have adjustable shelves, dry deck material, and LED lighting. In the uppermost corner, we have shoreline power, and then also that 12-volt bus. As we move to the forward section, crosslay access for the 2.5 at the top, long-handled tool storage, warning regarding entanglement hazard. The release mechanism for that tray is located just underneath the placard, and in this section, it's in between the two placards. As we move to the notch area, I'd like to point out a few warning and safety placards. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner. First, with when climbing onto the vehicle, always face the vehicle. This is a fall hazard. As we move just to the right of this location, this is your cab lift for the instructions. It's on the placard itself for raise and lower. Also some danger and warning placards. Also warning regarding a pressure hazard. To the left is going to be our large diameter passenger side inlet. We do have a discharge on this side, 2.5 inch. It is electric, so therefore required to have an override. The override is located right next to it, requires a tool. Same thing with your large diameter, override, and then just beneath that, all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. There's also a fold-out step located within this area. As we move now to the cab section, let's start as we go inside. A fixed door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, electric windows, and a grab handle. As we move inside, you'll also find a grab handle interior of this location. Also, we have an additional location for shelving and netting inside for additional equipment in that first cabinet. Same additional storage on the top section of the compartment on the passenger side. Paddle latch gauges access. We also have LED light inside. As we move exterior, we have an additional access from outside to gain entry into the inside, adjustable shelving, and also 12-volt power. As we move into the officer space, let's start with the door panel. Safety and warning placard information on the door panel, door lock and latch, electric window control, and a grab handle. As we move inside the vehicle into the officer space, the vehicle is equipped with a supplemental restraint system, an airbag located within this area. Please seek information regarding mounting of any equipment within this area for safety. As we move to the right, you'll find the fill location for your windshield wiper fluid, and then also a parking brake located on this side. As we move just to the left of that, you'll find 12-volt power via USB, and then also 12-volt barrel style. And also a control module here for the Go light. This is for the light over the officer space. Overhead, you'll find push on and off white or red lenses. Also, you'll find a digital readout speedometer and also the height of the vehicle, length, and gross vehicle weight rating. We do have some additional switches over here for your front scene lights, driver's scene, officer scene, rear scene, perimeter lighting, and momentary Opticom switch. Let's move just to the left within the same area that we're in currently. This is going to be your unit radio, AM/FM, Bluetooth, Sirius XM CD player. Just to the left, we have a tire pressure management system, digital readout for all tires on the vehicle. As we move to the aerial device, this is a 4-section aerial. As we move to the right side of the pedestal area, you'll find an additional storage location here. At the base of the ladder, you'll find an additional storage location. And now let's move to the pedestal area. We'll identify a few items within the pedestal area. First, let's start at the forward section, general view with the pedestal open or lid open. In the front section, this is your intercom system, volume control, and push to talk. As we move just down from this location onto the control module, I would like to point out some warning and safety placard information on the lid itself. As we move to the uppermost right and left corner of the module is where you're going to find emergency stop, to the right aerial speed, and then emergency hydraulic power. Just down from that location, you're going to find your lights and tracking information for those lights. And then to the right, you'll find a digital screen and display module. Let's go ahead and move further down on the panel where you're going to find your nozzle control and then also ladder control for retract, extend, right, left, and lower raise. Let's go back to the lid itself where you'll find warning and danger placard information. On the very top section of the lid, when it's opened, you'll find this placard indicating waterway dry and then also waterway charged. Those are the graphs indicating the load capacities. Also, as we move down, you'll find the monitor nozzle positions. And what I would like to point out at the very bottom section, there is an asterisk section regarding freezing conditions. And then just to the left, you'll find the NFPA information regarding your ladder. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ladder itself. As we move up onto the ladder, you'll find on the left-hand side, we have an additional storage location. As we move toward the end or fly section, you'll also find on the base section a 12-foot attic ladder. Moving toward the end of the fly section is where you're going to find long-handled tool storage on the right, and then also fold-down steps for standing on the tip section of the aerial device. As we move now to the front, you have the ability to release the monitor from the tip position to a lower position on the fly. That's the device located here. Please see the owner's manual for its operation. As we look to the right, you'll find a nozzle control. And then once again, this is the location of the nozzle where it will be located in reference to the fly section, either at the tip or partially pinned lower back. We do have extend, retract, right, left, and lower and raise at the tip section. Also some warning regarding tip over or fall hazard, indicating short jacking, also danger regarding electrocution hazard, and also crush injury with the ladder movement. As we move to the right, this is a passive speaker and intercom microphone. As we move to the bed section area, the aerial devices in the upright, we have additional storage location on the upper portion, and then also we have at the very front section the water tank top fill location. As we move into the dunnage area, additional storage location. As we move to the front section of the cab, this is a non-walking surface, and that's why we have these warning placards located on the top of the diamond plate here. Just a quick general view of the top section of the truck. The next set of multiple images are that of the chassis and engine. This will conclude the chassis and engine photos. Congratulations, King County Fire, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 36543. If you have any questions, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.